uh, chat.
Hey guys, my name is Pam Peebles, and welcome to Skinny Fiber Stories of Success. I've got my girl Chris here with me, and tonight we've got an excellent panel. We're going to share some fantastic stories with you. Chris is actually going to be hosting tonight's chat and telling you guys some information that's really going to kind of blow you guys' mind. I've been with Skinny Body Care now for almost, I think it's a little bit over 4 months. I've lost almost 30 pounds, made some really great money, but most importantly, I've made some great friends, and Chris is one of them. So, Chris, I'm going to let you kind of take over here and introduce our panel that we have tonight while I try and help Teresa get up and running. Stories of success. I've got my girl Chris here with me, and tonight we've got an excellent panel. We're going to. Okay. Okay, Chris.
Are we good to go? And this is why it's live. Okay, hi everybody. As you know, my name is Chris Portermuth. Pam asked me just shortly before this to kind of go ahead and do most of the hosting, so this is my first time. I'm sure that I've got a lot of shoes to fill here because she's really good at this. It's a wonderful thing that she's brought to the company with these Google Hangouts. I think a lot of us now are doing them. I know some people were doing them. I know Judy Stallings and Natalie. Several people were doing the Google Hangouts with testimonies that we've been allowed to post on our page, and those have been just fantastic. But this here, that we can actually have people go to these Hangouts, and when they click on the page, it's just absolutely phenomenal that they can join our team right from our landing page, and that is a really cool thing for us. So if you're out there and you have not taken the time to post this Google Hangout on your page, go ahead and post it on your page. Just post the link that you have. That way other people can kind of join in and see exactly what we're doing here, because, I mean, you just never know who's out there who's going to click on that link and think, man, this is a company that I want to join. And they're going to click that join my team or find out more information. They're going to be taken directly to your page, and they're going to be able to sign up with you. So take just a second and do that and enjoy the Hangout tonight. Like Pam said, we've got an absolutely fantastic panel full of wonderful leaders. Some people are relatively new to the company. You know, some have been here for several years. I think maybe Devanay has been here since close to the beginning of the company. So we're going to get a lot of really good tidbits. So let's just go ahead and get started. I want to introduce you first to Tom Griffith. I think a lot of you probably know him and his lovely wife, Natalie. If you were in Vegas, you got to see both of them speaking. I know I have never been to one of the conventions early enough to get in on their sweat routines that they put people through before the actual events, but he can maybe talk a little bit about that. He came into the company about 4 months or so ago. I'm not going to go into a lot about it, but I'll let him tell you what he has done so far, what him and Natalie do, how they're doing in the company, and we'll just go ahead and let you take off with it, Tom.
Hey Chris, thanks a lot, and it's my pleasure, and I appreciate you've asked me a couple of weeks in a row, and I've been really busy the last couple of weeks, so very happy that I was able to be free tonight. Well, you know, like you said, I actually came into the company around the first of the year. I was working a corporate job, actually working in a tire manufacturing plant for almost 2 decades, and just started getting a little a little concerned about what my future was going to be, and I started looking at other possibilities, and I had been stalking some of the leaders in this company for a few months, actually looking at a couple of companies, and so I had created some Facebook friendships with a few of the top money earners in the company, and I just really started looking at how were they doing business, and as a personal trainer, to be honest with you, I was very skeptical of the product of Skinny Fiber because, I was watching these unbelievable transformations and not really sure if if that was really taking place or not. But when I realized that Jackie Stewart was in this company, and I realized that I'm from Jackie Stewart's hometown, and I actually coached her, the baby sister of the family, Jeannie, and I actually I knew the sisters. So I decided that I needed to seriously give this a look, and I I scheduled a phone call with Jackie. I believe it was January the 4th, and within just a few minutes, I realized that this was a company unlike any other that I had worked in this industry before, kind of off and on. You know, you're in this industry because you know this industry is the way that you can create wealth for your family and time freedom. You get out of this industry because the company that you were in or the product that they were promoting or products just didn't work for you, or there was something that happened along the way. So getting back in and jumping in this thing with both feet, you know, the story is that and it's a true story, is I actually did this business for 3 weeks before I told my wife that I was doing it, and because I wanted to make sure that I could make money, and it was actually was going to do what Jackie said it was going to do. So I got started, and once I brought Natalie in and opened up her eyes. Natalie has been in this industry for quite a few years, and you know, we were able to hit platinum in a very short time, and so now it's just, you know, it's just putting my team together. I have a great team together, and we're working really hard, and we finally have some international business going, and trying to make that jump from platinum to diamond. So any secrets that anyone could give me on that would be greatly appreciated.
Work hard and don't sleep. That's kind of the mode that I'm in. Work hard, don't sleep later. Get on the phone. Don't talk to anybody. Tell everybody don't bother me. That's kind of the mode that I'm in right now.
Well, it's funny because a year ago, Natalie was a stay-at-home mother and I was working, and now here we are a year later, and I'm the stay-at-home dad. Natalie and I together have 8 children. We have 4 boys and 4 girls, and we have 5 of them in the house now. So I'm the guy that kind of gets it up and, you know, gets everybody rolling in the morning, and so it's kind of neat to be able to be a stay-at-home dad, and we need more of those. We need more stay-at-home parents, and I guess I'm going to try to be the ambassador for the stay-at-home dads. What do you think?
Hey, I think that's Mr. Mom, 220, 221, whatever it takes. That's what I call it. Tell us a little bit about what you do as far as your personal training side. You know, to give us a little bit more information about that, because I know, like I say, at the event, everybody talks about getting their sweat on with Tom and Natalie. So give us just a little bit about that, because that's pretty important.
Well,
you know, people think, you know, sure, we can take the Skinny Fiber and we can drink our water, but it has to be more than that. You have to really get yourself moving and allow the product to work and help the product to work.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up, because yesterday I finally posted my 45-day pictures. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't have any problem speaking in front of anyone. The bigger the room, the better it is for me. But when you ask me to take pictures of myself, you know, before and after pictures, pretty uncomfortable. But I posted those yesterday, and you know, I've worked out my whole life, and I'm actually a retired high school and college cross country and track coach. I retired 2 years ago after 30 years. So now I train adults. I still train some college athletes, but I work mostly with triathletes here in my town. We have a group called Will Tri, where there's about 60 athletes. So every Tuesday night they come to the track, and I put them through some sweat. So I have been a certified personal trainer. Natalie is also a certified personal trainer. So I guess back in the Charlotte event, which was the first event that I was in February, I invited anyone that wanted to go for a run with me Friday evening before the festivities began, and I waited down in the lobby for about 15 minutes and nobody showed up. So I went for the run myself, and we actually did the same thing in Atlanta, and we started kicking around some ideas about doing a group run in Vegas until I realized it was going to be about 105, and so I really changed my mind from that. But we had a live event, a Super Saturday in Cadiz, Ohio, which is where Jackie and Judy and the rest of her family is from, and we actually got together on a Friday night the night before the event, and we did some of us did a 3 or 4 mile run, and there was also some run walking that was taking place. So we're really big advocates on getting out and moving. Skinny Fiber is an unbelievable product that will work no matter if you can not really watch what you eat, and you can really not really work out, but if you implement some of those things along with this unbelievable product, because this product is the missing link for a lot of people. Some people can do really well watching what they eat, and they take a product, but to watch what you eat and to work out and to implement Skinny Fiber, it's an unbelievable combination that really no other company can say that they have. And our customers are in a great position to really lose the weight that they have always wanted to lose just by incorporating those three very important things. So Natalie and I are, Natalie is actually training for a Fit and Fabulous Mom contest in Florida, which is 31 days from today. So Skinny Fiber kind of goes with us everywhere that we go. It's like the new accessory.
Well, you kind of led yourself into this next question, which we've heard a lot, and Tim Miller talks about it a lot. What do you think about the pink bottle? I actually saw somewhere in one of the groups today, I believe it was Heart and Soul, a woman said, I'm trying to get my husband on board, but he's kind of afraid of promoting the pink bottle. I think if people would understand what it really does for men and women, and if they would know the money that could be made behind the pink bottle, they would get over that pink bottle. So as a man and the only man on the panel tonight, what do you think about the pink bottle, and what can you say to the guys out there about the pink bottle, or the women who are trying to get their husbands to come on board and promote the pink bottle?
Well, let me tell you, I graduated in 1983, and if you remember the 80s, pretty much any color scheme went. I'm sure I had a closet full of pink shirts, so pink has never been an issue with me. And actually, I mentioned in the tire manufacturing plant that I worked in, my department mixed the rubber that they used to build the tires, so pretty nasty little area. And of course, it was 99% male. But I've been around network marketing enough to know that if the product works, you showcase that product. And if you walked inside my office, my Skinny bottle was on display. So I think that for men, if you show a man something that's going to work, I think they're seriously going to look at it no matter how it's packaged. And if it's that big of a deal breaker, then go ahead and peel the pink label off of that white bottle, or put it in a little pill box for your man to take, whatever it takes. But I am proof that that this product does work for men, and I have a lot of men in my organization that are taking it and are more than happy to have a pink bottle on their shelf.
Yeah, and my husband is the same way. My husband has taken it. I started taking it, and he saw the changes that were happening to me. And it took him a couple of months before he started taking it. He didn't really need to lose a lot of weight, maybe 9 pounds or so, 9 or 10 pounds. He lost those, felt better, slept through the night. Just some really great things started happening with him. So, yeah, the pink bottle, for me, you hear Skinny Fiber for life, but whether I continue to sell it for the rest of my life or not, I've been in the company for a little over a year, I'll always take it just because of the way that it makes me feel, and so will he. So I really appreciate you coming on tonight, Tom. I'll probably be after you or Natalie again to come on, because we like your spirit. I love what you brought into the company. I love the way you just jumped in and really started working and helping. That's what makes SBC so great. It's just that everybody seems to come in and want to help each other, work with each other, teach each other, and get each other going on the way. So I do appreciate you coming on with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. It feels kind of odd for me to be speaking at anything without Natalie next to me. So I feel like I'm kind of like, where's she at? Because she's so dynamic that she's always great to have close. But I appreciate you being consistent and asking me to be on this hangout with you. You got an awesome panel, so it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's a great tool. It's really, really great. Hey, Pam, do you want to interject here? You just want to move on to somebody else?
Just tell wifey we said hi.
Absolutely. Yeah, she had a dance class tonight. She's training for an event where she has to perform the tango, and so I was like, I kind of like to get you home real quick to get all the bugs worked out. So she kind of rushed home for me, and fortunately, this is our day off of running. We started training for a half marathon, which is 90 days from now. Everything's in 90 days, so we started training for that this week. But today was or last week, but today was our scheduled day off. So I'll make sure I pass those words along to your family. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, and thank you. I think we kind of, this is a good spot just to tell everybody who's watching, who's listening in, again, what we're doing. This is just a Google Hangout. It's just a bunch of us to get together and talk about what the company is. You know, the people on the panel are some of the leaders in the company, and they're all wonderful. I think I've met 5 of them. The only one I've not met in person is Devonay. So I'm anxious to be able to actually see her and talk to her tonight. So Devonay and I actually have just became friends on Facebook. I think maybe the first of the week we became friends. We chatted a couple of times back and forth, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get her on here because she's been with the company, I think, since 2012. She's one of the pioneers in skinny body care, so she's seen pretty much everything. She's seen the growth. She's seen the growing pains. She's seen how good the company is, and I know she's had wonderful success with it. So again, I want to introduce Devonay Potter to you. I think I said her name right. And just kind of let her take over and tell her story. We chatted a little bit before this, and she's got a great story, and I know that she's going to drop some really great nuggets for us. So Devonay, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you started with the company, maybe when you came in, and what the product has done for you personally and business-wise.
Okay, I'm going to start by telling you it's Devonay. Can you hear me?
I think you might have your microphone off.
1 second. Okay, let's go.
What about now?
There you go.
Okay, it's Devonay.
Devonay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was saying that wrong. That's why I wanted to throw that out there. Devonay, got it.
It's okay. I started in February 2012. I had no intention of doing this kind of work. I'd never heard of network marketing. I just happened to be online and saw an ad that Jackie had placed in. It showed her before and after, and she talked a little bit about how much it had helped with her IBS. I've suffered from IBS for 20 years, and I thought, you know, as a nurse, if the only thing it ever does for me is helps with my IBS, then it's totally worth it for that. I called Jackie that night. We talked for about 45 minutes and became fast friends. At the end of the conversation, I said, do you mind me asking you how much you're making at this? And I think she'd been in it 9 months at the time, so she was right there in the beginning of the start of the company. And at the time, she was making around $500, $600 a week. And I thought, wow, at that kind of money, you know, you're not super rich, but it's enough to live on. I have problems with my ankle. In fact, I just had some surgery on it this past December. But because of my ankle, I'm no longer to stand on my feet for long periods of time. So I couldn't be a nurse any longer. I had left a job where I was making $18.50 an hour starting out and did not know what I was going to do. I had a daughter in high school. There were weeks that her boyfriend paid for her school lunch because what I was making at a temp job just wasn't covering it. It was a really tough time, and finding Jackie has just been, it's been such a blessing. In the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing, but I just followed what Jackie was doing. And really, for anybody that's already in the company, you know that the tools are there, so I suggest that you use them. For anyone that's considering doing this, we offer so much training, and we have so many wonderful people, and everyone is so friendly, and it's such a family atmosphere. Everyone wants to help you. I signed up and didn't look back. That temp job ended about a month after I started it. I stayed on the computer 12, 16 hours a day, and really that's what it takes. You can't come into this expecting that you're just going to give everyone your website one time and you're going to be rich. It's work. You have to get out and meet people. You have to do the things offline as well, which we're finding out, because a lot of us, when we started out, all we did was online work. If you aren't plugged into our current training groups, you should be. Get with your upline person, get with your enroller. We can get you hooked in. At the time that I started, I think my first check was $15.69. Doesn't sound like a lot of money, but I was ecstatic because that meant I had $15 to put in my car to go visit my dad 40 minutes away, and I hadn't been able to see him for a few weeks. From $15.69, it went to $80. From $80, it went to $280. From $280, it went to $389, and it just kept doubling. And there was a point that I thought, oh my goodness, this is never going to stop, which I'm sorry to say, eventually it does stop doubling. But I'm hoping to get back on that same track again. But I have not worked for anyone else but me for the last 2 years, 2.5 years now.
Yeah, and see, that's fantastic. Right before this hangout, I've been out of the house all day, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm an extreme homebody. And if I'm out of the house for more than an hour and a half at a time, I don't like it. So today, I got out. I went job hunting with my daughter. I went to the meat market. I had to go pick up my 2 grandchildren who are both in car seats. So I had to take the car seats out of my daughter's car, put them in my car, put the babies in the car, bring the babies home, feed them dinner, get them back to my daughter, pick up my grandson, and so I was running all over the place. So right before the call, like 15 minutes before the hangout started, I was zooming in the driveway, coming in here and setting up my stuff on the kitchen table. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. Because if I were to turn my camera around and you were to see my kitchen, or I walked you to the house after the 2 hours of my grandchildren being here, you would not believe it. But as I was sitting here and I was doing that, I thought, you know what? What in the world do I have to be stressed out about or upset? Because I am home because SPC has allowed me to be home for the last year. This is my sole income, and I make good money at it. My husband has his business that he runs, but I make very good money staying home, working on my computer, and sharing a product with people, sharing Skinny Fiber. So I'm thankful for it. It's just like you. I've not worked for anybody for the past year. I work for myself. I'm able to help my daughter. I'm able to help my family. And I'm able to enjoy what I do. So just setting your own schedule. I think that's the wonderful thing about network marketing is it just allows you to have the freedom. I may sit here and be on my computer, like you said, and I may be here 12, 15, 16 hours a day, but you know what? That's my time to do that with, and I can get up and do other things while I'm doing it. So if anybody out there is really looking for something, looking for a way to supplement your income, looking for a way to completely replace your income, you need to click on that join my team and get back to the person who invited you to this call, because Skinny Body Care is the way to do it. You can come in, and as long as you sign up 3 people, those 3 people sign up 3 people, those 3 people sign up 3 people, then you are slowly but surely building your organization, and you're going to be able to make a good living at this. No, it's not easy. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's working for yourself, and it's working for you. It's working on your own time. And I would never want to go back and work for anybody else, not after doing this. And I think pretty much anybody that gets a good taste of it, they're going to feel the same way.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, it's been a true blessing. It really has.
And beyond working for myself, I was able to open a store in April, and I brought my sister to work for me, and she was able to leave her job of the last 7 years, and I gave her a pay raise. Right. So it's been a blessing for my family as well.
Yeah, and I've heard there's so many people that they get to a certain point where that's what it becomes. It becomes, okay, I have been blessed, and so now I'm going to share those blessings. And the more that you share the blessing, the more the blessing is going to come back to you. It's just going to turn right around and come back. Do you have anything else? Any little bits of advice? Anything, a little nugget you want to throw out there for the new people? Because I know if you look in the groups, if you look in the official, and you look in Heart and Soul, the group is just growing and growing and growing exponentially. New people are being added in. It seems like every 10 minutes there are new people coming in and being added to the group. So what can you kind of share with them?
Well, I think what I want to stress is don't give up. You may not be getting 10 sales a day. I'm not getting 10 sales a day right now, but it's going to pick up, and it's so worth it. And if you can help one person, and that person can help another person, you're going to start building a team, and before you know it, you've got a whole team under you, and it happens almost overnight, it seems like, but it doesn't really. For some people it has, but for most of us, it just takes time. So I really want to stress that people don't give up and don't expect overnight success.
Yes, and kind of just to elaborate on that, I think when you have people who sign up underneath of you, talk to them, be there for them, because they're looking at you to be a leader. So if really take them under your wing, help them to grow. Some people are going to take off and do it by themselves, and you don't even hardly have to talk to them anymore. Some people need a hand up, and the people that you really give a hand up to and help, they can be the ones that really help to grow your organization. So all you people that are coming in, go ahead and get out there, talk to your people, talk to your upline, stay in the groups, and really stay connected and stay plugged in. I think Pam has Pam, you there? There you are.
Here.
You want to go ahead and introduce somebody?
Yeah, we've got, I'm going to start down here with Teresa. And Teresa, what I want to do, I know you've been with Skinny Body Care for actually almost as long as the company has been in existence, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly from us talking in Vegas. So what I'd like for you to do is kind of share your experience of how it's been with the company and anything you can share, because I know we talked a little bit in Vegas, actually a lot in between everything that was going on, but I love your story and love how you inspire people and everything that's been going on with you. So I was really excited to be able to get you on the panel. So just kind of tell us how long you've been involved with Skinny Body Care and what this business has done for you as far as your life, and just anything you want to share with us tonight. 1 second, we've got some volume issues. Hold on, everyone was muted out. Okay, let's try that again.
Hello, are you hearing me good?
We got you.
All right. Hello again. I actually started with Skinny Body Care in September of 2011. So it was later that year when the company started that I discovered it. I've been in network marketing let me back up a minute. I was first introduced to network marketing, I'm going to date myself now, back in like 1980 with Amway. And that company kind of overwhelmed me, so I didn't join it, but I was always intrigued by the business model. When I heard, what the business model was about, I'm like, why am I working for corporate America? But all in all, I stayed with corporate America, trying out different companies over the years. And I finally retired from corporate America in 2007. My last job was in banking, but I went from television, behind the scenes television now, not in front of the camera. I went from behind the scenes production and that type of stuff to banking, which I finally retired from in 2007. And I've always been healthy kid growing up. I grew up in the islands, on the island of Trinidad. And it wasn't until I left at 17, right after I graduated from high school. Got married back then too. So I've probably been married like as long as you've been alive, Pam. But yeah, I didn't start getting sick until after I left Trinidad. Because back then it was all fresh fruits, vegetables. When I think back, our trash can for the week was the kind of trash that we throw out in a day here, in today. So we didn't eat processed foods. when I was growing up. So we were all pretty healthy. I left Trinidad, came to the United States, and my health went downhill. I had chronic sinusitis, and I had to fight that for, I think, about 15 years. I was fighting this. I was always on antibiotics. They used to have to change up the brand of the antibiotics because I would get immune to it. And they told me to, it was where I was living. I moved, relocated. Nothing was working. And actually had, I'm not sure how I discovered natural health, but when that light bulb came on for me, that was all she wrote. I started studying herbs, essential oils, anything natural, and I practically healed myself because the antibiotics wasn't doing it for me. And I've since been, let me see, since 1991, I've been all natural, no medication whatsoever. I was diagnosed with fibroids in like 2000, 1999, 2000, somewhere around there, and they wanted to operate. That's how big they were. And I'm like, you're not cutting me. So I did my research, and I shrunk those fibroids naturally. Everything that came up with me, they wanted to put me on thyroid medication. I did my research, no thyroid medication to this day. And I'm fine. An old woman, I didn't even know when menopause happened, but it happened, never had any side effects whatsoever. I'm, just natural. So I've always looked at companies with natural products, and I was actually promoting a company part-time because I was still in banking then. That was it was an all-natural product. When I was promoting it on the internet, and I saw this movie being promoted, clicked on it out of curiosity, and when I checked out the ingredients, I realized it was stuff I was already taking. I was already taking enzymes. I was already taking fiber. I'm like, okay, this is combining two of the things I take, and so why not? So I tried it. I remember my husband saying, another company, Noreen? No, I'm just trying out the product. Because I was really into this last company I was with. I love the product. I mean, I still buy it for my daughter's dog because I love it. But this Skinny Fiber took me because when I looked at all the aspects of this company, I was just blown away. It's something I've never seen before, all in one, under one umbrella of a company. And all the things that I was looking for in a company came together with Skinny Body Care. From the CEO, the coolest, I dubbed him the coolest CEO in the industry, to, because I've been in companies, I've been to, every convention they had and stuff, and you couldn't even get within 10 feet of the CEO, okay? So when I joined this company, I remember Ben had just, he had revised the homepage. And number one, you don't get the personal email of a CEO or chat with them on Facebook. Well, we didn't have Facebook back then, but anyway, he's friends with me on Facebook. That wasn't, never happened before in my experience. Anyway, he changed up the homepage, and I realized that the enzymes were missing on the homepage. I'm like, no, I mean, this is my marketing tool right here. You can't leave enzymes out. This is why I take this product, besides the fiber. So I mentioned it to Sue, my upline, and she said, tell him. I said, tell him? I was like, okay. So I inboxed him, and he replied right away on it. And like the next day, I got an inbox. It's done. He added back in. I'm like, wow. I have never experienced something like this in a network marketing company. I mean, everybody was always so unreachable. You know, you had to follow protocol and go upline to that upline to that upline to get the message to, you know, if you had anything valuable to say. So there are many things. I mean, I can't. Another thing that drew me to this company is back then when I joined, it was one product. And at this stage in my life, I'm not looking to market a million products. So I'm like, one product, it helps. I mean, if people really take the time to understand what the purpose of enzymes are in our system, everybody should be taking enzymes. I say, if you eat cooked foods, you need to be taking enzymes, because once the food is cooked, you have no enzymes. And that's why we end up with all this junk in our systems. So it's something that I think everybody should be taking. Like, they see the name Skinny Fiber. I'm like, I don't need to lose weight. So I said, okay. You ever heard of something called diverticulitis? I've seen 30-something, 20-something-year-olds hospitalized for that problem. And it's because their diet was lacking in fiber. Enzymes. I said, you don't need to have to lose weight. You don't have to be overweight to take this product. Everybody needs it because we're all eating cooked foods, you know. So once you get people to understand that, then they start realizing it's a natural supplement that everybody should be taking. So, you know, it's just a perfect company for me.
But you know, you brought up a good point. One that I actually was talking to someone about last night. They were looking at another weight loss program or product, actually the program, and she mentioned in her post, I saw it on Facebook, and I sent her a private message. It was a friend of mine, and she said, if I do X company, will it still work for me if I don't do shakes? And so she's someone I've known for about 10 years, and I just wrote her and I said, well, you know that I do Skinny Fiber. I said, why in the heck would you look at that stuff? She said, I totally forgot. And I said, you don't need all of that stuff. I said, that company, their goal is to sell you as many products as possible. I said, but realistically, you don't need all that stuff. You don't need a shake and crackers and cookies and Jell-O and pudding and peel. And all that stuff comes out to $400 and something. And I explained to her again that all I've done was, you know, I do eat healthier.
Right.
Even though I realize that we do tell people you don't have to change your eating. Well, I tell people that I'm 43 years old. I want to change my eating. But you know, I do eat pizza and I eat cake occasionally. But that's because I'm a real person. But for the most part, 90% of the time, I'm eating healthy.
Right.
But I love that you mentioned that it's one product, because I can't keep up with trying all that stuff. I've never done it before because I quit. So I think that's a great point that you brought up, is that it is one product. And that makes it easy for people to use. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, don't you think that's like the easiest part of the program, is remembering that there's just 2 pills to take 30 minutes before you eat?
Exactly. And you know, you don't have to change how you eat. I mean, everybody should be eating healthy anyway. You know, so you strive to eat healthier, but you're eating real food. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just something. It's a supplement. I take other supplements because you know, I'm getting up there in age, but it's because our foods are so depleted that we have to supplement. So even if we're eating, you know, quote unquote healthy, we still need a little supplement here and there, and that's why the enzymes come in so handy, the fiber come in so handy. And as far as looking at it from a business standpoint, Skinny Fiber, Skinny Body Care has been a godsend. It's we've always like my husband and I. We only have 2 kids. They're grown. Grandmother of 2, proud grandma of 2, and they are my wife. I do this for them because I really don't have to work. We've always, ever since I remember, he always ran our household where we made sure all the bills were paid with one income. So whatever I made was extra, for savings or whatever. So I don't have a car note. I don't have a house note. It's all paid. And I do this because I love it. I enjoy helping people, and it's just a passion I have to see people healthy. If I could see every single person on the face of this earth with perfect health, I'll be the happiest woman, around.
I'm going to throw something in, and this would be like a good opportunity for James Davis to pop in, but I know he's not. When we're talking about how the product works, I just have to add that when I eat healthy most of the time, but when you do decide not to eat healthy, let me just put it out here, and somebody else testify with me, folks. It cleans you out. I just need to say that. So when I do go have the pizza, or I do have the ice cream, or, God forbid, I go have cake or something, I was telling this to my husband. I'm trying to get used to the word husband, so you'll hear me say it a couple times. I told him that because initially he's like very fit, and when I was telling him initially, I was like, you need to get on the product. And I said, you can't not get on the product. He's like, I'm not taking any Skinny Fiber. And then, of course, he started taking it, and then when he started, without getting too graphic, just in case he ever sees this, he was like going to the bathroom a lot, and he was asking me, and I was like, oh, you didn't want to take it. I told you you needed to take it. But one day we went and we had some ice cream, and let me just say, it was not a good day in this household. That stuff cleans you out. So when you eat stuff, it adheres to those bad things in your body, and it helps push it through your system. So I tell people all the time, even once you lose weight, this is something that you need to keep taking, even after you lose your weight, because it helps to regulate your system. I have one person who's on the product whose cholesterol went down over 35, almost 40 points, and it's because it's taken all that yucky stuff from out of your system. So it's more than just about losing weight. It's about changing the dynamics of your body. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because most people, we're not going to eat. I'm not going to eat vegetables every single day and grilled chicken. I mean, in a perfect world, I would, but who on this panel eats like that every single day? I mean, be honest. I mean, who does that? Do any of you guys do that? I mean, really?
Well, let me just say, I want to add in here, because my husband and I, Sean, were just talking about that. When we went to Vegas, we actually extended our trip about 8 days and spent some time in Denver on each side of the Vegas convention, and we drove. So, when you're on the road and you're driving, and then we went to Chicago for the weekend, so we've actually put in about 4,000 miles in the past 3 weeks driving around and traveling. And you don't eat good like that. And plus I wasn't real regular with my Skinny Fiber. And that same thing happened, I got home and I took my Skinny Fiber, and Sean's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I took my Skinny Fiber. It does that. It does clean out your system, and it gets rid of that food. And I have a lot of clients who say, gosh, Chris, I just started taking it. I've been taking it 2 or 3 days. I don't feel good. Well, your body is detoxing. That's what it does. The difference that it is a detox doesn't really feel too good. But it's a good thing, and that's what I tell them. It's a good thing. That means Skinny Fiber's working. Drink more water, and you'll start to feel a little better. The water will help you get through that. So drink the water, and it'll get you through the detox period.
Yeah, and I'll agree with you on that Vegas trip. We of course we were at the event. I got married while I was in Vegas, and we just had a ball. And I will tell you, the food at the place we stayed at was just like amazing. And except for when we got the bill, but we were just like eating every single day. I mean, you name it, we ate it. Unfortunately, I didn't gain nearly as much weight as I probably should have. And even when we came back home the first few days, I was still trying to find restaurants to eat at, and my husband said, "Well, when is this going to end?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying still being on vacation mode." So, but it was because I was still taking my skinny fiber, and truth of the matter is I wasn't able to eat as much, which was kind of disappointing in Vegas because the food was really good. But so, Teresa, thank you so much. And also about your business, one of the things I want people to understand, first, guys, if you guys have not clicked on the link below, one of the things that I love the most about this company is that I was telling someone just today, is that people who come into this company win. And when I say win, I mean win big. This is a full-time business for myself and several people on this panel. Some people who have no marketing experience, some people who have no background in this business, and they just decided to come in and they love the products, they're passionate about what we do about changing lives, and because of that, they've had success. So if you're watching this, if you need to maybe lose a few pounds or you just want to get healthy, then this is the company for you. So click on the link below and tell whoever brought you to this page today, tell them thank you, because they're literally about to change your life for the better. You have no clue. I'm so grateful to be part of this team. And part of this family, because it really is an extended family. Behind the scenes, these are some of the most caring people that you ever want to meet. I haven't been feeling all that great lately, and these people have rallied behind me to make sure that I was okay, make sure I didn't need anything, offered to help me from 2,000 to 3,000 miles away, and just some of the greatest people in the world that you not just want to partner with, because it's not just about making money, but it's about creating a lifestyle, and that's what we do here. So click on the link below, start building your business today, and get back to the person who invited you and tell them thank you for helping you change your life, because that's what's getting ready to happen for you. So, Teresa, one of the things I do want to ask you is, how has this changed your life, this business? How has it changed you as far as getting involved with this company? I know you mentioned you were with another company before, so what has Skinny Body Care been as far as different for you for a business?
Well, actually, I've never done a network marketing company full-time until Skinny Body Care. After I retired from banking, I took on another career as a therapeutic in therapeutic massage, and in 2010 I got into a bad car accident that kind of disabled me for a bit. The year following, I was kind of flat in bed. My poor husband used to say, "Would you ever get well?" I mean, I spent most of my day in bed. It was so painful. Being a massage therapist and all natural, I refused surgery. They said I had 4 herniated discs. My neck was messed up, bulging disc up there. It was just pain. I refused to take the pain pills. They tried injections twice, and that put me in more pain, so I refused that. And I tried every modality out there in massage therapy that would work temporarily. Every time I got MRIs done, they said inflammation. My back was too inflamed, too much fluid. Anyway, I started taking Skin Fiber in 2011, and another problem I had was my adrenal glands weren't functioning right, and my feet would swell anytime I had smell caffeine. I just had to smell it. I mean, I couldn't drink coffee, and that's something that's been corrected since. And all in all, even though I was taking enzymes before, for some reason, these enzymes are allowing my body to get the nutrition from the food to heal my body. Because I no longer have inflammation in my back. I could sit, I could stand. I mean, I'm literally painless today. I noticed on the cruise last year, I mean, I went with my flip-flops because I said, I'm drinking coffee. It's free. It's all paid for. I'm going to have my coffee. So I drank coffee like it was going out of style. My feet never swelled up. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was prepared to put my flip-flops on and go about my business, and I didn't have to. My feet did not swell up. So that's when I realized that was cured. It hasn't swelled since. So, little things like people would say, oh, they might look at me and say, oh, she's not skinny or whatever, but I'm I might be classified obese as the health department with their skills and stuff, but I'm comfortable with my size. I'm healthy, and I'm enjoying life. As far as being able to stay home, when I had that accident, I had to pretty much stop doing massage, and that's something I started to do because I loved it. Um, I had to stop because I would do a job and come home in more pain than ever. So this has replaced that income, um, kind of quadrupled it. and, uh, and I'm sitting home. Now, my husband doesn't understand network marketing, and he isn't trying to, right? So at the end of the year, I don't keep track of dates and stuff, but he's like, what do you do again? I'm like, I have to put the computer in.
So let me ask you this. He doesn't understand network marketing, but he understands Cha-Ching, and he does understand.
Right. He's like, what do you do again? So my daughter, she was getting frustrated with her job, and plug this in. And he's like, why don't you teach Trinette to do what you do? That's my daughter. And that's when I realized that he was actually getting a little respect for what I do at home on my couch. Because he couldn't believe the kind of money it was generating. I've always played around with it, but never made this kind of money. So for one product and sharing something that I believe in, getting people healthy, which is what I have always done, and to get that accomplished with one product and not have to, feel guilty about people spending $300-400 just, a month. It feels good.
I'm sure it does. Thank you so much. And I mean, that's an inspiring story because, one, to be able to make that type of money where you've replaced your income times 3 is a huge thing. And two, people always talk about wanting to work from home, and we have a lot of couch entrepreneurs with Skinny Body Care. So that's like the best entrepreneur. I'm a kitchen table entrepreneur. I actually have an office set up in my house, but I kind of prefer, if you can see, there's a kitchen. So this is my kitchen table, and I prefer sitting here because I can look out on the patio and stuff like that. So thank you so much. And I think we just lost one of our panel members, so I'm gonna actually, when she pops back in, we'll come back to her. But I'm going to go down to my left and introduce you to, this is actually my sister. Now, here's the funny thing about bringing my sister into the business is that she's watched me for a long time, and I think the funniest thing about it is that all this time she probably thought I was the biggest scam artist in the world. And it wasn't until she went to an event with me probably a couple months ago. My friend Tim Miller came into Atlanta maybe about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I don't know, maybe about 2 months ago. And I think all of the story that she had heard of me getting into the business about struggling, when I was struggling financially and trying to get on my feet, she heard a similar story from him about how I kind of put blinders on and really was focusing on building my business. And so sometimes when you're very close to people, especially a family member like your sister, it's hard for them to see you as anything else because I'm still baby sister. So hearing someone else say the same story of how they had to put blinders on, how they had to kind of cut, not really cut folks out, but kind of really channel in on what it is they were trying to do in order to achieve their goal. Plus, I just think Tim's story was a lot cooler than mine. Finally, for her, because I've been wanting this for her and for my other sisters for so long, and as a result of it, she came into the business, came on the Vegas trip with us, and that's when things really clicked for her. And since then, she's lost, I don't know, maybe I think 30 pounds. I don't know how much she's lost because I can't even honestly keep up with her anymore. She's went off and did her own little thing. She came back from Vegas and just turned into this monster. I don't know what happened. And before then, she was kind of like, oh, yeah, I can't find people. And then all of a sudden, she just started signing up people left and right. When I say, and people think, seriously, because she was my sister, like this was supposed to happen, and I've never had her on any hangout or anything else simply because she was my sister, because there's certain expectations that come with it. But when I say literally she turned into this beast after Vegas, I still need to talk to her about what she's doing because I need tips. So I'm going to introduce her so that she can tell us about her own personal experience on how she's lost weight and what she saw in Vegas, because sometimes different things click for people. And obviously, the event in Vegas was life-changing for her, because when I say she came back and now she's got a team, not only does she have a team, but she recruited my other sister into the business, which is crazy because she watched me and never joined. Crazy story, okay? So this is my sister, Angela. So, hi.
Hi. First hangout, first time even doing anything like this, so I'm a little bit nervous. But I joined the business a couple of months ago, watching Pam do it forever, and yes, I'm like, it's a scam. You know, I've never done marketing. I've been a nurse forever. I'm like, this is a scam. It can't be real. She's not making that much money. Ended up having to have surgery. So before my surgery, I had a car accident. Before my surgery, I wanted to lose weight. I lost about 19 pounds in about 6 weeks. I went on to lose close to 30, not quite 30 yet, just taking Skinny Fiber. So since doing that, I decided not only does the product work, but after going to Vegas, I saw stuff I never imagined. So now I am a distributor and loving it. Wouldn't do anything else. I do have a team, very thankful, and the team is going to even grow even bigger. And I'm just real excited about Skinny Fiber right now.
So let me ask you, since I have you on the hot seat, what clicked for you? Because here's the funny thing. For those of you guys who are watching who haven't clicked on the link yet, this is a really amazing thing about this business. So I will tell you, my sister has watched me. I've been self-employed for for over 20 years, and I've been in this industry for 2 years, and my sister has watched me struggle prior to getting into this industry. And she was, for those of you guys who don't know my story, she was one of those people who was getting the phone calls from my car company about repossessing my car. And so when I say, like, I tell people all the time I was really broke and struggling, and no one ever believes me. But so now here's my proof, because she was one of the people getting the calls from the repo people looking for my car. And so she watched me go from barely being able to pay my car note and actually offering to help me pay my car note to earning over 5 figures a month in a relatively short amount of time, and still had some concern. So, you know, now that I've got you on the hot seat, I'm going to ask you a question, because I know there are going to be some people watching this, and I think you're a great example. Because one of the things I try really hard to do, and I'll say this publicly because she is my sister, I wanted her to be able to work the business herself. That was real important for me, so that she learned how to fish for herself. Meaning that just because she was my sister, I give her tips and information, but I want her to learn the business and not have any special privileges. You know, because she still needs to learn. If I'm not here today, just like anyone else who gets into this business, we mentor, we train, and we coach. But it's still up to you to be able to do the work. So me being little sister, I coach and mentor my big sister so that she could be as successful or more successful than me, because that's what I want for her, because I love her. but I want to know what clicked for you that suddenly made you understand that it was possible for you and that this would work. Because when you came back, literally, it was like one day you were like, welcome my new rep. Later that afternoon, you were welcome my second rep, and then later that afternoon, I was getting a message from Tim, and he was like, she signed up her third person. I was like, I know, I can't even honestly keep up. So it was something that happened that made you understand that not only is it possible for me, but it was possible for you to do this too.
Well, I love you too. And yes, I did get the calls about your car and everything else. But I don't know, just going to Vegas, being around, I've never done this before, but I have never met people that are so friendly and so down to earth and so helpful. I mean, it was like, is this real? And most of them didn't know I was your sister. So they weren't doing it because I'm your sister. Because you know how I am. I work really hard. I don't expect any handouts, and you wouldn't give them to me anyway, and that's good because I need to work. But most people didn't know. And just seeing the wholesomeness, and everyone was so kind and so helpful, and you're not on my team, but I can help you, and all of the good luck, and I'll help you if you need help. And then seeing how successful everyone is, it's not a joke. And if they can do it, I can do it. And I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. That's my mindset. Anybody can do it. You have to try. You have to work hard. It's not going to be overnight. You're not going to go to making $2,000 a week in a week. It's going to take hard work, but you're helping people. You know, so many people are dying from obesity. When I Googled the product and I saw what was in it, that was, and I didn't Google until I got back from Vegas. And then after being around everyone, it just made me really want to help people. And so that's my mission. It's my mission to help people. So, yes.
And I'm going to throw in that our mother actually died from obesity-related illnesses. And so we've always talked about, being able to maintain our weight. We've never been big, but we've definitely always been 20, 30 pounds overweight. And so that's been something that we said, this is something we can rally behind and get passionate about. And
Right.
Also, you're a nurse, so, which I don't know if you want me to throw that out there, but it's out. So, from that perspective, how do you see this as, and from a healthcare perspective? Because
Wow.
it's a problem.
Right. When I Googled the product, the ingredients, it kind of blew me away because they're using most of the products over in Brazil to treat different illnesses. And I'm a nurse, so certain things I'm not supposed to say, but there are cures for a lot of things, and it's not being taken care of because of certain reasons. But there are so many natural products that you can take that will get rid of stuff.
Yeah, and this particular product, we can't make any medical claims. One of the things that I can tell you is that I know people who have lowered their cholesterol, who have been able to regulate their blood pressure. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, and again, I'm not guaranteeing that it's going to happen to you, but these are things that are happening for people. They've been able to regulate their systems. I know that's what's happened for me. The weight loss, things which may be a little bit too graphic, where I know people who are having issues with going to the bathroom, maybe only going every 3 or 4 days, who are now going a couple times a day. So while that may not seem like a big to-do, it's very uncomfortable. I've been constipated before. I can't even imagine having a life where I'm only going 2 or 3 times a week. To be able to do that, to go to where I'm going twice a day, that's a big to-do. So I know that this product is a big to-do. It's a big deal. And more than anything, folks, we have an 8-to-2 ratio, meaning that we have 8 clients to every 2 distributors. So we have more people taking the product than we do promoting the products. So if you're looking at this as a business, you're thinking about selling this product with us, there's so much opportunity. There's so much room for growth here. We're just at the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we really have not even gotten started. Last year we did $35 million in this company, and we're taking it to $1 billion, and we'd love to have you join us. So click on the link below. Get started today. I mean, it's literally less than $100 to get started in a $1 billion industry. Weight loss is a $61 billion industry. 8 out of 10 people are trying to lose weight, and at this time, we have 8 out of 10 people taking the products. Only 2 out of 10 people are reps, which means there's so much room for growth. So click on the link below. Let's get started. And Angel, any other words that you want to leave as far as what someone can do to get off to a fast start? Someone posted on the page how they can get the belly, how they can get the beast in them too. So what got the beast in you?
I have to blame it on Vegas, you know, and also just wanting to help people. You know, like you said, you know, mommy died from obesity, and with me being able to help people and also help change people's lives as far as their income, it's a good thing. So just work hard, and anyone can do it if I can. My computer's acting up.
That's okay. Yeah, and I agree. I think for us now, it's a personal mission. I say it's the best of both worlds, because this business gives us the ability to change our lives and change other people's lives in so many different ways. You have the ability to change your own life personally. I went from a size 14 down to a size 10, and I'm still losing right now. My goal is to get back into a size 6, and then from there, I'm able to show other people how they can have the same results, and I'm able to make money and live a very comfortable life because of it. I mean, where else can you do that? I don't work really hard, as you can see. I'm down the tank top, and I just put makeup on for y'all. Otherwise, I don't look like this. But I pretty much work from home at my kitchen table, and I'm able to do what I want, when I want, whenever I want, because of this business. And you guys can do the same thing too when you decide to partner with us. So thank you for coming on. I know that this pushed you outside of your comfort zone, but it's only a few hundred people watching, so thanks.
Well, thank you for having me.
This is my sister. I can harass her. So Chris, I'm going to let you take over. I think you have your mute on, Chris.
There we go. Now you can hear me.
There you go.
Well, hi, Heather. Heather's been having a little bit of internet difficulty. She's in and she's out, and she's in and she's out, but we think she's here now, so we're going to hurry up and get her going. I actually had the pleasure to meet Heather at our first event that we did here in Indianapolis. Gosh, I don't know, it's been several months ago. I can't remember the exact date. We've had one since then, and just to give a little plug for it, we're getting ready to have another event coming up September 20th. So if you are anywhere close to the Indianapolis area, we're going to be having another event, so get your team, get them there. But Heather drove, or her and her daughter rode a bus, I think, I don't know. She'll tell you how many miles it was and how many hours. Like, oh, I know it was over 15, 16 hours, maybe even more than that. But she rode on a bus with her daughter so that she could come and do this event for us and speak at this event. So that's dedication. You know, that's what this company is people who are really helping. She didn't have to come help us, but she did. She kind of paved the way for us to be able to do it ourselves, and that's kind of what it's about, is to learn from the people who have been in the company longer than you, and then you just take off on your own. So Heather's been in the company for I know, over a year. I've been in it for a year, so she's probably been in a couple of years, but we will just let her take off and tell what she's been doing here lately. So Heather, it's all on you.
Hey, Chris. Thanks. Yeah, I actually joined Skinny Body Care in June of 2012, and it was Megabus, and it was 20 hours there and 24 hours back. Yeah, with my 4.5-year-old, and she was a trooper. She had never been on a school bus, let alone a big, huge Megabus. At one point in our leg, we were actually squished. The only seats left were in the way back row, and there were some heftier people in the back row, and we were stuck between. She actually had to sit in my lap. Yeah, it was a trip, but it was awesome. One of my girls, Vicky and Chris, and they had invited me out there to do the presentation, and that was something new for me. I had gotten to speak once real quick at the first cruise that we had, and I've done little breakout sessions with people when I've been at Skinny Body Care events, but that was the first time I actually was the event. So you want to talk about out of your comfort zone, this is cake compared to that. Even though there's more people watching this, it was just in live in front of we had about 40 people there, and it was awesome. I got to share my story. I actually started again, like I said, in June 2012, and with me, it was a lot, the weight loss. I had started at 187.5 pounds, and I had a 45-inch waist. I have 3 little girls who are currently 5, 10, and 11.5 years old. So when I started, they were a couple years younger. And so my biggest issue was I wasn't the big kid in school. I wasn't big growing up. But after having the kids, I couldn't get off. I have I don't have any of the issues anymore, hypothyroid and Crohn's disease, both of which do not like to let you lose weight. No matter how hard you try, they like to keep you gaining. And the week before I got my pills in, I had my brother's graduation party from high school. And the party went from like 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and I ate from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and I ate and I ate and I ate. And we have big parties, and my parents are watching, they can attest. We have lots and lots and lots of food, cake, cookies, junk food, hot dogs, hamburgers, and I ate everything. The following week was my sister's 30th birthday party, and we had same stuff, literally the same stuff second time around. And I got my pills the night before. So I took my first dose a half hour before eating, and I had grabbed a hamburger and a big bowl of fruit, figuring, yeah, I'll be able to eat a lot more, like I did last week. And I got halfway through my hamburger, and I just couldn't do it. And, you know, people were looking at me like, you gonna eat? No, I couldn't. So I got lucky. It instantly worked for me. I was amazed. It was an instant sell. The first week I had lost 7 pounds. By 6 weeks I had lost 15 pounds and 29 inches. And the coolest thing about losing the weight, by my 6-week point, my oldest daughter, she used to none of my kids could actually give me a hug and touch their fingers or anything like that. And we were at Six Flags one day, and we were standing in line waiting for a ride, and she gave me a hug, and the next thing I know, she's jumping up and down like crazy, like, okay, really, what's going on, Jolie? What's up? And she's like, Mommy, I can touch my wrist. I can touch my wrist. And I'm like, what? She said, no, Mommy, when I give you a hug, I can touch my wrist. And so I hadn't really done the inches at that point. I had just been looking at the scale because that was what was working for me, so I wasn't worried about the inches. Actually, I think even that day I might have been wearing the same shorts that I wore in my day one, but in my day one, I actually had it was button shorts, and I had them all unbuttoned and flipped over so I could wear them because I wasn't going to be buying bigger pants. Too much pride to be buying bigger clothes when I have 3 little kids. And so we measured from the tips of her finger to her wrist, and I had actually lost 6 inches in my waist. At that point, it had a 39-inch measurement, so I knew I was 45 inches before. That's where I had got my beginning inches, because I knew she could touch her fingertips before, whereas now she could actually hold her wrist. So that was it. That was just absolutely insane. I had come home one day from a walk, and my husband pulled in, and he honked his horn for me to move out of my way. I was standing with my back towards him, and he gets out of his car, and he goes, "Hey, honey, I thought I was staring at some hot chick." And I said, "You're lucky it was me." Yeah. And he said, "Give me my bottle. I'm ready to start." So, you know, he wasn't afraid of the pink bottle anymore. He believed in it. And he went on to lose 9 pounds and 20 inches. By my 90 days, I had actually lost 25 pounds and 50 inches. I went from a 45-inch waist to a 34-inch waist, which was awesome. And he actually, I don't have the thyroid issues anymore. I really don't have the Crohn's issues anymore. he used to get really nasty migraines. He used to get these really bad body colds that he'd get a couple times a year. He started July 2012. It's August 2014. He has not had a migraine since then. You know, he got off a little bit of the weight. He got, you know, his body healthy again. No more blood pressure issues. No more cholesterol issues. You know, so it's total body. You know, it's just, you know, it's not sawdust, Dad. It's Skinny Fiber. It works awesome, and it works for everything. You know, like Noreen said, the enzymes. You know, you don't have them in your body anymore, and you need to get them up. So, and I've had, you know, my team. I've got girls on my team that have lost a lot of weight. They've got great stories. I love when I get messages in my inbox on Facebook with people telling me, I need you in my life. Thank you so much for introducing this to me. I'm feeling great. I'm losing weight. You know, I've got energy back. I can do things with my kids. Business size-wise, we actually, last summer, I was having a really great summer in the business. I had a really good team. We were doing pretty good. And my family, me and my husband and my kids, we went on vacation in New Jersey. And it was the week of my husband's 40th birthday, my middle one's 9th birthday, and the baby was going to be turning 4 the week after. And we were in New Jersey, so we were 5.5 hours away from our old house in Massachusetts. And my husband, on that Monday we got there, that Monday night he wasn't feeling good. Tuesday, he was miserable. He stayed at the campground. We were in cabins, so not having a tent, it wasn't like we could pack up and go. And so I took the kids to Atlantic City, took them to the beach, the boardwalk, out to dinner, the whole 9 yards. We came back, and he still wasn't doing well, but he insisted on going with us to Wildwood Beach the next day. And we got to the beach, and he wasn't doing too hot. He had lunch with us, and then he went back, and he laid at the beach for a couple hours under an umbrella and took a nap while we went and had our vacation. And when we came back, he really couldn't move. My girls are very tiny, and they actually had to help drag the stuff up from the bottom of the beach all the way up to the top, and I had to help drag him up because he couldn't walk. You know, we had, of course, you know, people all along us not helping, but you know, people must have thought he was, you know, drunk or something because he just was completely out of it and you know, stumbling, but it wasn't drunk or anything. He was sick. So we GPS'd the local hospital and brought him right to it, and he actually was in the hospital from that Wednesday on his 40th birthday until the following Monday. He was in the hospital for almost a week. He ended up with infectious colitis, and if it wasn't for the income that I was making with Skinny Body Care, because at that point he had lost his overtime at his job, we would have been out of luck. I don't know what we would have done. I mean, we had only had the campsite from Monday night till Thursday night, and we had to be out of there on Friday morning. And that was paid for, and I had a discount on it. And if we had to get a hotel room or if we had to get another campground or anything like that, and I didn't have that money coming in, we probably would have had to leave him at the hospital, drive home, borrow money, and come back out to get him whenever he was out of the hospital. And that just, that would have been a nightmare. I don't know what we would have done. But I found another campground, and we were able to get a cabin for Friday night into Saturday. That's the only thing they had. They had tent spots, but we didn't have our tent. And that cabin was actually more for that one night than we actually had paid for the 4 nights at the other site. But because like I said, I had my business, we were able to pull it off. And I brought the girls I met my sister-in-law in Connecticut, which was a few hours away, on that Saturday. And so I drove 3 hours there, then drove 3 hours back to the hospital, and I stayed with him in the hospital until Monday. And, I mean, I didn't have to worry about food. I didn't have to worry about place to live or anything like that because I had the money in my account for it. And then I was able to take my whole family on the cruise. And actually, my parents were able to go on the cruise with us, too. Someone else wasn't able to go, and they were able to go on the cruise, so my kids got to have a vacation with my parents, and I got to, which I hadn't done in probably 15 years. So, you know, it's been a big thing for us. You know, I get to stay home with the kids. We have soccer 4 nights a week right now. We're going to have games on Saturdays. My husband misses all that because he's at his job and he doesn't have the flexibility, but we're working on me ranking up in the company so we can get him out of his job. And we'll get there someday. It's just a matter of, you know, plugging the numbers and keep on. And but it's great, you know. I get to watch my kids grow up, and you know, we get to do everything that we, you know, need to do. So it's just, it is. And Skinny Body Care, it's a family. I mean, I went to my first event. It was the first cruise. I was in the company 4 or 5 months when we first went. And, you know, first day I knew nobody. I mean, I talked to Sue on the computer. I talked to Dee on the computer. I knew them on Facebook. And, I mean, I got there, and there's a welcome wagon. I mean, everybody's there waiting, and you're just instant friends. And you get on the boat, and you're instant friends. And you're at the, you know, hanging out with each other. And it's like Noreen said, I mean, you're out there, and you're giving Ben hugs and high fives. And I brought my hula hoops on the cruise. And I had Ben hula hooping and Tim hula hooping, and, you know, he was hooping. You don't see that. You're not, yeah, Noreen. You're not going to see these CEOs of the company, these higher ups in the company, or anybody really going out there and doing that. I even had the opportunity, like Noreen was saying, with Ben being such an easy CEO. It was the last night of the cruise, and it was midnight, and I was up on the deck just hanging out, not really ready for bed. And he came up, and he sat down next to me, asked if the seat was empty, and I said, sure. And I actually sat there and talked with the CEO one-on-one for 45 minutes. And it wasn't business. We talked about his kids, my kids, you know, their favorite things, Halloween, you know, costumes. It was, you don't see that. I mean, I worked 9 to 5 stuff for years, and ain't nobody above your own level talking to you. It's just not happening. So, you know, it's just family. It's family. It's, you know, it's helped me lose a lot of weight. It's helped my husband lose weight, helped him get healthier, helps me get healthier. You know, my friends, and it's just awesome. There's not much more to go with it. I'm a massage therapist like Noreen, and, you know, I was, you know, selling it with my clients because all natural goes perfect. You know, it plays into everything. It really does. It helps, you know, especially if you're going to eat the not so great foods. It helps to flush your body out and keep you going.
Yeah, and I think kind of what you said, you kind of tied it all up. It really is awesome. When you go to the events and you see everybody, it really is a big family, and it's a wonderful business. You know, like you said, you can just make fantastic money doing it. You can support your family. You can stay home. And, you know, it's a business opportunity. I mean, so many times we talk about, you know, the family side of it and how wonderful the product is, and we know that. We all know that because we all experience it. But it is an incredible business opportunity. You know, it's not something you can come in, and I think I said at the beginning of the call, you can make $100 a week, you can make $300 a week, you can make $600 a week, you can make $1,000 a week, you can make $10,000 a week. You know, it's really, you're only limited to what you limit yourself to. You know, if you really get out there and work it, it's just limitless what you can make of this, because it's a product that sells itself. So if you just really get out there and focus on it, if you're on this call and someone had cared enough about you and put the link on their page, the message, share it with you, click that button, join the team, find out more about it, get back with them, message them, talk to them, because they're going to tell you the same thing that you're hearing here. You know, we're all just normal people. You know, we've got $1 million earners that have been on a panel with us, and we've got folks that are bronze in the company that are on a month, because it takes all of us in order to win. So get on that, hit that button, join the team, talk to somebody. You know, I just checked my back office, and I've made 2 sales while I was sitting here talking. So you get out there, you spread the, I clicked over and I'm like, oh, I usually holler at my husband. We have a little board here that we keep track of sales and we keep track of volume. Usually I holler at him and say, put it on the board. Of course I was on the call and I couldn't do that, but that's what it is. That's what network marketing is. You can go to bed at night and you can make money. You can get up in the morning and have made money. You can be out with your kids and you can make money, as long as you're willing to work for it and plant the seed. So I think that's really all I've got. We'll kind of turn it over to Miss Pam here and see if she wants to close it out.
Chris, I just want to thank you for stepping in. One, you're an amazing friend. You're a great co-host, and I just love you to death. So thank you so much for stepping in at the last minute. Chris has been my co-host. She kind of jumped in as a co-host, as a fill-in one day, and she's just got addicted. So she's turned in to be our permanent co-host for our hangouts every Wednesday. And I contacted her maybe about 10 minutes before, just to tell her I was feeling a little under the weather and ask her if she could kind of take over for tonight's hangout. And she said, sure, whatever I need to do. For jumping in, and for those of you guys who are looking at this business for the first time, that's pretty much what you get here. You get not just a great product that works because people are losing weight. You get a family. You get the environment where you can thrive personally and professionally. And the thing is I came over from another company, and I was looking for something where I could really build long term. And you want that in a business, especially if you're new. I was telling my sister, this is just a very rare opportunity where you get a company where you have people that are concerned about you who don't make money off of you. One thing I can tell you in the short 2 years that I've been doing this is that typically if people are dying, most of the time more money, but if they're not making money off of you, they could care less what you're doing. In this company, I can honestly say you've got most of the most genuine, good-hearted people who care about your well-being, whether or not you're succeeding, whether or not you're getting the resources you need, whether or not you're able to succeed in this business at the level that you want to, in addition to your health, your wellness, your family's wellness. And those types of things really matter because that's how you really succeed in business. It's not just about making the money, it's about having longevity, and you have longevity when your family is stable. So all of those things matter so much, which is one of the reasons why you want to partner with the person who brought you to this hangout, because this is the right place to be. We're still growing, and we're really just getting started. So again, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you guys on this panel for sharing your story, sharing your hearts, and for everything that you do for this company to make it a great company. We love having you and love hearing your stories. They're always so inspiring, and it just helps everyone on the team just strive to do more and want to help more people. So guys, we will see you again next Wednesday for another Skinny Fiber Story of Success. Tomorrow we have our Midday Millionaire mentoring session where we have my sponsor, John, who's going to tell you how he was able to create a position of double diamond with himself and his wife. A diamond position in our company is over $20,000 per month. So he's going to share some information with us tomorrow at noon right here at the same location that you're at now. So if this just wasn't enough for you and you want another dose and you want to know how you can get your business to making over $20,000 a month, he did this in about 90 days, then tune in tomorrow at noon with the same link that the person who invited you gave you, and we'll share more information on how you can really build your business with one of our our diamond leaders who's on his way to making $1 million in this industry. So thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you either tomorrow or next Wednesday. Take care.